USNI News is reporting that 2 U.S. Navy sailors have been arrested for taking bribes and providing sensitive military information to Chinese spies over the course of several months starting in early 2022. Machinist Mate 3rd Class Jintao Wei of Wisconsin is part of the crew of the USS Essex, LHD-2, which is an amphibious assault ship. He was indicted on a charge for conspiracy to provide national defense information to a Chinese intelligence officer, according to the Department of Justice indictment that was just released to the public. The DOJ alleges that Wei communicated with the Chinese intelligence officer, providing him with manuals and photos of amphibious ships such as Essex and other big deck amphibious warships. Wei was paid for the information. According to the indictment filed July 19th, the Chinese intelligence officer reached out to Wei and started a handler-asset relationship in early 2022. Starting in February of that year, Wei provided information to the Chinese intelligence officer that included details about the defensive weapons aboard Essex and the missions and locations of all the U.S. Navy amphibious assault ships. The Chinese intelligence officer also asked for information on the Lightning carrier concept, an emerging strategy that fills the flight deck with U.S. Marine Corps F-35Bs, which is the vertical takeoff variant of the Joint Strike Fighter, to act as a mini aircraft carrier that can conduct strikes instead of transporting ground troops during an amphibious landing. The Chinese intelligence officer wanted to know the exact number of Marines that would be involved in international maritime exercises. Wei also handed over technical and mechanical manuals that contained information about the systems on naval ships and provided information on the repairs and mechanical problems that affect ships' deployments. Another recently released DOJ indictment charges a second U.S. Navy sailor, construction electrician 2nd Class Wenheng Zhao, with allegedly taking a bribe from a Chinese official. Zhao is currently assigned to Naval Construction Group 1 in Port Hueneme, California. The DOJ alleges that Zhao received bribes from a Chinese intelligence officer after he sent operational plans for a large-scale exercise in the Indo-Pacific region, which included naval movements that were marked CUI, which stands for Controlled Unclassified Information, or FOUO, which stands for Official Use Only. Zhao also allegedly sent photographs of computer screens with operational orders for military exercises. He also sent photographs of diagrams and blueprints of the electrical system in the Ground Air Task Oriented Radar System, also known as GATOR. Those documents were marked unclassified, but for official use only. Meanwhile, in a related development, the New York Times is reporting that the U.S. government is hunting for malicious computer code that China has embedded deep within the networks that control power grids, communication systems, and water supplies that feed U.S. military bases in the United States and around the world. The discovery of the malware has raised fears that Chinese hackers, probably working for the People's Liberation Army, have inserted code designed to disrupt U.S. military operations in the event of a conflict, including if Beijing moves against Taiwan in coming years. The malware, as one congressional official put it, is essentially a ticking time bomb that could give China the power to interrupt or slow U.S. military deployments or resupply operations by cutting off power, water, and communications to military bases. The first hints of this new Chinese hacking campaign came in May, when experts at Microsoft released some details of the malware found in Guam, home to major U.S. Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps bases, and elsewhere in the U.S. The company attributed the intrusion to a Chinese state-sponsored hacker the experts called Volt Typhoon. U.S. cybersecurity experts are able to remove some of the malware, but removing the Volt Typhoon malware also runs the risk of tipping off China's increasingly talented hacking forces about what intrusions the United States is able to find and what it is missing. If that happens, China could improve its techniques and be able to reinfect military systems with even harder to find software. More on this as the situation develops, so if you're not already a subscriber, become one so you don't miss anything. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please consider using the super thanks, the heart icon below, or become a patron at patreon.com/wardcarroll. And in the meantime, I look forward to talking to you again very soon.